Hey everyone, Sam Davidson here with MEA Worldwide at the 8th Annual Women Making History Awards here in Los Angeles, California. Today we're going to be talking to some of the most inspiring women in the entertainment industry. You're not going to want to miss these interviews, so stay tuned. It's such an important part of the entertainment industry now, on TV and all that for years. What do you think is the most important change that you've seen take place in the past couple years?
I like that women are having more of a say in what happens. We're decision makers more. We're writing, we're directing, we're producing. I'm dreaming of the day that we're studio heads, so that we can actually be true gatekeepers to see who gets in and who doesn't. I love that we're more vocal. I love that we've embraced being called nasty or opinionated or unelectable, and we fought against it as much as we can. And I look forward to the day when we don't have to fight so hard.
And is there a memory that you have over the span of your career that you think that would have never happened today, and I can't believe that, we let that fly back then?
I mean, there were some things that said on the community set by one person that would never have flown today. I've never spoken about it publicly. I probably never will speak about it publicly. But if we had Me Too 10 years ago, it would have been a better work environment on set for the actors. And this is not Dan Harmon. If anybody's thinking it's Dan Harmon, I'm not speaking of Dan Harmon. I'm speaking of someone else whose name I don't mention. But we went through a lot on that set, and had Me Too been around, or if we had been empowered to say this is not okay, because it really wasn't even just a horrible thing said towards women. It was horrible things said against everybody. It was a Trumpian type situation on that set. And it wouldn't have happened, I think, now. I definitely wouldn't have let it happen now.
What is the most significant change that you have seen as far as women are concerned?
Wow. I mean, I think that bringing up equal pay is a huge thing. I think we're not there yet, but I think the conversations around mental health is a huge one that we've personally really seen, especially since we were, young children in the business and struggling with our own mental health, and felt like that was something that we couldn't talk about at that age. And I feel now that I do feel comfortable speaking about it, and I think that's because of other strong women that have come out and said, look, this is something that should, not have this stigma behind it. So those are a couple, at least, to name.
Yeah, how about you?
I would say the Me Too movement has brought up a lot of discussion around respect towards women, and I think it's a very touchy subject, and there were some women that were on the front lines of leading that conversation that I really, really look up to, because it's opened up a dialogue that did not exist in Hollywood before. And I think we are getting closer to women feeling safe.
And Dear White People really has pushed the envelope in so many ways. Do you think this show could have existed like 10 years ago?
Thank you.
Whoa. I think it could have. Would it have had as big of an impact as it has now? Maybe not, because, the film existed in 2014, and it's almost like it was brand new to them when it became a series. So I think just because of where people are emotionally, culturally, politically, the show just is so necessary, because we need that vehicle to be able to talk about things that are way too uncomfortable for us to know how to just do it on our own. And be able to laugh at it, so.
What ways have you seen the industry change the most since you started your career until now?
Oh, wow. Well, I think it's important to focus on women today. So in answering that question and what it has to do with women, I would say there has recently been a lot of focus on how women are treated, and it's not just sexual mistreatment that has been an issue, but a need to disempower women in a lot of ways. For instance, when I turned 40, the biggest question that was asked of me was, how does it feel to turn 40 and know that you're not going to work anymore? It was not asked to men. No one ever asked men when they turned 40 that question, and this is something that needs to be analyzed, and we need to break it apart and look at why we ask these questions of women.
It's wonderful to be here with you this morning. We're just so excited to be here. here for this amazing event, and I just couldn't be more honored to be recognized this year. There's so many amazing honorees, and today on International Women's Day, to share it with my daughter, who will be introducing me on this stage. And we have to just do everything we can to build this museum. We deserve a place in this country where women's accomplishments are truly recognized, so that young women can travel to DC, be inspired by the stories they see. And the museum really serves to educate, to inspire, and to empower, and we're really proud to be part of its mission and vision.
Tell me a little bit about how you think the industry has changed as far as women are concerned in the past few years.
Oh, I feel so lucky to be in this generation of young women who are pushing forward a more sort of female-dominant presence in the industry, and I can definitely see it happening left and right. You're seeing more and more scripts and more TV shows that have female leads and a female-focused story. The show that I'm on, For All Mankind, is all about the space race and how it would have changed if the U.S. had lost to the Russians and instead pushed forward for a more female-focused space exploration experience. So stories like ours, stories like Handmaid's Tale, like there's so many great shows out there that have such incredible, strong female casts. And I think that it affects both the entertainment industry, and it also affects the way that young girls see themselves in television and how they are reflected.
You obviously are part of two very huge shows right now. How has the industry changed as far as women are concerned since your One Tree Hill days until now?
Do we have 5 hours to talk about this? I think that if I truly look back on that time and period, I'm so grateful for having the role on that show, but the experience off screen was brutal. We had a showrunner, as many people know, that are a part of the Me Too movement, and there were things that I withstood and went through that now I would not. And at 23, I wish I had the voice and the courage that I have today, and the women who came together, and I think we all wished we would have supported and actually spoken about the things we were struggling with sooner. And it's an incredible lesson, and I hope that us coming forward and us going through that experience only inspires other women. But I now work on a show where it's such a different environment. It's supportive from the top down. It's nothing but respectful. The sets are very different. So I feel and see a shift and a change in the last 4 years, really 3 or 4 years on the sets I've been on. And they have intimacy coordinators. They have things that feel like they're finally protecting us and giving us a voice where maybe we weren't before.
We have had a fantastic day here at the 8th Annual Women Making History Awards. We hope that you guys have enjoyed these interviews. If you'd like to see more like them, please download our app for free, subscribe to our YouTube channel, or just go to our website. We'll see you next time.
Hi, I'm Shantel Vansanten, and you're watching MEA Worldwide.